So a lot of running shoes like this one have an insole that is made out of EVA. Now, EVA is a material that breaks down pretty quickly, so this heel area here is pretty dead. It's pretty flat, so that cushioning bottoms out real easily. And there's also some compression in the metatarsals and toe region here, a little bit of compression. So in this video, I'm going to show how to make an insole using polyurethane foam, which lasts a lot longer. So what I have here is the 1/8 inch medium Poron, which I ordered from McMaster Car. And this has an adhesive back to it. So you can see when I peel this back, there's adhesive on that side. Now, you don't have to get one with adhesive. If you get one without adhesive, I would recommend using a pencil to trace your insole. So that pencil, it's kind of hard to see, but at least you can see it. If you do it with a pen, I think, in my opinion, it's harder to see the pen. So I would recommend using a pencil for that. Now I use the 1/8 inch, or if you're from a metric place, which is most of the world, that's about 3 millimeters. I don't use the 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters because I found that stresses the plantar fascia, which is it's an area that's near the midfoot and the arch. So I found that 1/8 inch tends to be best for me. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to clean the back of these insoles. I'm going to use 91% rubbing alcohol. See, I'll get some gloves for that. So I'm going to clean the back of these, and it'll help the foam stick better. So I'll do a wet cloth first, and then I come back with a dry cloth. And because this insole foam is open cell, meaning it can absorb water, it's going to take a little while to dry, and that's why it's important to use the 91%. If you use 70% or 50%, it's gonna take longer to dry, and then your adhesive won't stick very well. So I'll just do the same thing on the other insole. I think I'll go let these dry in the sun for a bit, just because I can feel a little bit of dampness, and I can't have any dampness if I want the adhesive backing to stick to the bottom of these insoles. All right, I let these dry in the sun for a little bit, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get an approximate rectangle of this material. I don't want to waste too much material. This was, I think it was about a little over $40 for 24 inches by 24 inches. But I also want to have enough material to work with, because I don't want to miss and be off when I stick these down. So what I'll do is take the pencil and do a rough trace around that gives me enough room to work with. And I will just cut along that pencil mark. Okay, so I flip it over, and I'm going to flip these over too, and that's about where they're going to go. So to make this easy, I'm just going to flip this one that way and flip this one that way. I'll peel it back. And then I just take these and I flip them back. I'm just eyeball it a bit to make sure I'm on before I start setting it down. So here I put the middle down first, and then I just kind of push over to the ends, or you can start from one end and go all the way to the other end. But I think it's easier to start in the middle and then eyeball and make sure that you don't go off either end. Okay, and then all I do now is I just cut around with the scissors. I think I'll cut in between first, just because it's easier to only cut one insole at a time. So around most of this, I'll cut perpendicular to the insole, or parallel to the edge of the insole. Near the heel, I might have to make some adjustments depending on how it fits in the shoe. The adhesive sticks to the scissors here. I'll use the Lizzle scissors to make the curve here. And I'm going to start out just following the edge and keeping parallel to the edge. See how it fits inside the shoe, and then if I need to add any bevel to the heel, then I'll do that. But I'll start off first doing this because I can always remove material later on, but I can't really add more material if I change my mind. Now, depending on the fit in the shoe, you might just, instead of putting the new insole on the bottom of the old insole, you could just replace the new insole entirely if this ends up being too tight of a fit. And then obviously you get the version that doesn't have the adhesive if you're going to do that. And if you have shoes where the insole is glued in and you can't rip it out, like let's say this shoe had an insole that wouldn't come out, you could trace another insole of a similar size and shape, and then just put the polyurethane on top of the one that's glued inside. So I have this one ready, and I will do the same for the other one. Okay, so I have both of these insoles done, and I will just put them inside and see how they fit, especially in the heel. I'll have to see if I need to do any beveling in the heel. That seems to be all right. Another option is, instead of beveling, for some heel heel cups is not beveling, but just going in a little more, trimming a little more material away. Okay, I'm going to check the fit and make sure that it feels good on the foot. Yeah. Yeah, it feels good. The heel seems good. So I think that these are ready to go. I think that's all there is to it on these ones. So thank you for watching, and hopefully if you do this, it can help you reduce injuries and be able to get in a lot more miles without getting injured, which is a good way to set a PR or reduce stress. So these shoes have a different type of insole, and these insoles have some curvature happening at the heel. So it makes it just a little bit more tricky to make the new insole and cut it, but it's not too hard. It just requires a little thought put into it. So I'm going to do the same thing. It's too bad my feet aren't a little bit shorter, because I'd be able to get more insoles out of this sheet. So I'll have to go here. Now these ones taper a little bit in the arch. I'm gonna just bend it up a little bit and then cut flush with the edge of the insole. If I need to bevel, or if I need to remove material, I can always do that later on. I can't add material later on. So for the heel cup, I'm just gonna start wide, see how that fits, and then go with a narrower heel if I have to. So I'll start off doing it like this. There's no way this is going to fit, but I'll just use this to gauge how much I need to take off. Alright, so I have this one cut out and a lot of material on the heel here, which I really don't think is going to fit. Let's trim that down just a little bit more here. So I really don't think that this is going to fit very well, but I'll put it in anyways and just see how much it doesn't fit. So I just wiggle it a little bit to get it all the way to the toes, and that does seem to fit actually. Okay, well then it's a good thing I didn't remove more material. Just remember, you can always remove material if there's too much, but you can't add it. So I erred on the side of having too much material, and I think that was actually the way to go. So yeah, that's all there is to it.